Yeah, what up, guys? We have Jameson, Juliet, Troy, and Ed. Let's go. All right, today we're going to be talking about scraping Google Maps again. All right, and so essentially, I'm going to be adding this code into the code vault. And there's one little thing that I want to update on this code. I want to make this code actually scrape websites also. So right now, the code will essentially scrape. I'll share my entire screen. This is our code, right? So this is our code. This is actually a screen recording. Let me delete these. Boom. Has anyone ever used what's called cursor.ai yet? Anyone check that out?
No.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's about it. I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's essentially like somebody forked VS Code and made it where they like added AI into it. So it's pretty cool. So here is our Google Maps scraper, and we'll bring it into here. All right, cool. So if you guys see this code, we actually have the ability to scrape Google Maps with this. And if I hit run, let's see where we're at with this. Let me open this whole thing. So Google Maps scraper. Bam. All right, cool. So we have this script, and once you install basically like the requirements, there's this little text script, right? So if I have 44104 plumbers and I hit run on this script, here's what's going to happen. All right. This script is going to hopefully open up a new, basically like Chrome window. If you see right here down here, it opens up Chromium, whatever that is. And then it goes to Google Maps, and then it types in our zip code, right? So it's going to add our zip code into here, right? So 44104, like this is all happening live. I'm not typing it in. And then it goes here and it goes to Google Maps and it grabs all of the plumbers in this local area. All right, so it's literally going into the zip code and getting all the plumbers. You can see in our script right here, it says quantities currently scraped. We're at like 36 plumbers that it pulls back, 40 plumbers, and it just keeps going down the list of this. Like, so it kind of like goes in, right? It has to load each one of these. And then it goes down and gets the plumbers for each one of these. Okay, it does 120 max. So if we're building such something like a local directory, well, you could literally create like, essentially, if you're trying to get plumbers, if you're trying to get home improvement or realtors or website developers, whatever you're trying to get, you're able to pull back this here. All right, so this will scrape all of these. Well, here's what I want to do. I actually want to update this because whenever this thing is done, it's basically going to put it into a CSV, and it's only going to give us the name of the business, the zip code of the business, the address of the business, the phone number of the business, and the URL of the business, right? It actually doesn't give us any emails of the business or any actual information about the business. So here's what we could do is we could take this code right here, and I could copy this code, and I could go over into the AI, and I could tell the AI to update the code. And so for me, I have this bulk site scraper, my AI team code that I was working on. And this is kind of just scraping in the background while we're waiting. So I could update this, and inside my AI team, we have this little chat box, like this little chat bubble. And so what I like to do is I say, hey, I'm working on a Python script that scrapes Google Maps, okay? But I want it to also use the website scraping API to scrape the URL that it gives from Google Maps. And this is going to make it where we can update our code, because right now it's only scraping Google Maps and it gives us the URL, which that's great. I'm glad that we have the URL, but we also need to be able to get the social links, the emails, anything like that too. So that scrapes Google Maps, but I also want to use the scraping API that scrapes the URL that it gives from Google Maps. And this code right here basically has my like URL set up. So it's scraping my URL. Okay, so my API that we set up with the website scraping API. All right, so then I can paste in this code and then it will paste. All right, so AI is doing the full coding with this Python script too. So we'll have it update. With this code, you guys see how it's scraping all these Google Maps? Soon I will make the code inside the code vault here. I'll make the code inside the code vault here where actually you guys could either upload it to your guys' own computer or you guys can upload it to the internet. My goal is to make it where this code can run on a server. Right now, this code could only run on my local computer, which is kind of a bummer. So yeah. All right, so this will go through this whole entire thing. You can see what all it's doing. I literally had it where it spells out every single thing that it does because I want to know what it's doing. So you could see literally it's like we're trying, it waits for it's visible, and then it scrolls down to the right row, and then it gets all the information. So this code actually provides like some really cool stuff. If you guys ever want to see how to scrape stuff with using like a Chromium browser, this code right here is pretty effective for it. Mainly it actually opens up a new browser and runs it. So, which is very unique, different than our website scraping script. That one doesn't do that. That one just like somehow does it all behind the scenes, which is really cool. All right, so that will get added. And then you can see we have this script. Basically this whole thing got added. I'm going to say, give me back the full code. All right. And then this will update. And then you can see right here where it says modify business data to include the API response. This is adding in, like, this is the scrape data from Google. And then this below is our API, like our API text, our HTMLs, our emails, our social links. This right here, just this one code, if you guys use this code, let's just say you were starting a directory. Well, this is the core part. If you were ever to like scrape the data, or you needed somebody else to provide the data, like let's just say somebody hires you to like provide them leads. Well, you can see right now I'm getting a whole bunch of leads for plumbers. And so this is literally just going through Google Maps that has updated information and going through every single one and scraping. And so this could be a whole service within itself. Or you could turn it into a directory. So, but me updating the code so it actually scrapes and gets emails, gets content from the site and all that stuff. I mean, like, that actually makes it where it's fully useful, not just scraping Google.
Have you tried scraping any of those like Chamber of Commerce websites? Does it work on those sites?
The Chamber of Commerce sites?
Because they have like their own business directory, basically, of all their chamber members.
Yeah. Pretty much there's been very few things that I haven't been able to scrape. It's actually really cool. Like, so even the other day I was like, I know this is like a sidetrack, but the other day, like, basically we were talking about, like, someone was talking about on Twitter, like different Congress members basically publishing and buying stocks, right? And so I was like, all right, well, where's that data?
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi, right? That's exactly what it is. There's somebody right now that follows Nancy Pelosi's trades and they're up a whole bunch of money, you know? And so it's like, dude, how do I set up a bot to do that? Like, and so essentially I did that exact thing. I went and got the XML file from basically like the government website, and I created a little dashboard based off of that. And now I have a way to actively see what all the people are spending, you know, and it's pretty crazy to see. So let's see. But yeah, so let's see, where's this? It's pretty interesting to what you could do with all this data. But look at all this. This is all the government spending and all what they're filing. So if I type in Nancy, here's what's really crazy. Everybody else, if I click this document, it shows the document of the government, of that government agency, of what they bought and how much they bought and everything, right? It shows all their financial disclosures, right? Well, if you click on Nancy's, all Nancy's are link broken. All of them. Look at directory not found, file changed. Every single one of Nancy's Pelosi's, like, all of her paper. And you can see every single time she's bought Honorable Nancy Pelosi. And this is all of her documents are link broken.
That's funny.
All of the other ones work. Like
Of
if I
course.
Nancy,
Of course.
they all work, but Nancy Pelosi's your stock trades. So yeah.
Yeah. She's the questionable one too.
Yeah, totally. She is. So she's the only one I wanted to check, and apparently she's hiding all of hers. But you can see when they purchase, like this person bought a home mortgage, $500,000, automobile.
Yeah, government, you can't hide.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's why Trump is all jacked right now.
Yeah, and so yeah, very cool stuff. So I'm going to be updating this Python script. You can see that this thing is just running in the background. Basically what I do is I set the script, I tell it what I want and all the zip codes, and I let it run all day, and then by the end of the day, I'll have 2,000, emails and phone numbers and contacts for, all of that stuff. And here's the thing is I see people, as crazy it is, they'll go on their social media and say, hey, who wants 10,000 plumbers emails? And I bought those things. I bought.
Yeah, and you get email spam too all the time, like in your email from that too.
1,000%. Yeah. So you could use this internally, or you could spam them. Yeah, whatever you so choose to. Yeah. So do you guys find this?
So are you having
how much do
trouble
people-
running Python scripts then on your server? Is that your problem?
I am not. No. Basically, where I think it's the Chromium browser that might be the issue because it's a shared server. So that might be the issue. The only other thing I could think of is, I'm sure I'm going to figure it out. I just have to keep working with it, go back and forth with it. And so,
Out of curiosity, what is the average price for 10,000 leads? You know what I mean? So what if I set up a site where people just put in a state or a county or whatever, you know what I mean? And it pulls the zip codes and just does it all for them. And then it's like, you'll receive an email with your lead list tomorrow afternoon or whatever, you know what I mean? However long it takes the script to finish. But how much, what's the average cost for a lead list like that? A couple $100 or something?
Yeah, that's a great question. It probably depends on the niche and what you're willing. But
it would depend on the industry, even the area. I'm sure that fluctuates.
So it's very variable.
If you just made it where it ran this script and you had like a little dragger that says, how many leads do you want? And then it literally it did that. Dude, you could charge like 25 cents, 50 cents a lead type thing. You know what I mean? And no joke. So the reason, and if you don't think that's a lot, so one of my scripts is
With all numbers. If you take 5,000 leads times 25 cents, it's like,
it adds up.
That's a decent chunk of change.
Even at 10 cents. So right now I sell the website scraper API on rapidapi.com. I sell it for 2 cents a scrape and I have people buying it. Or you could buy like basically a mega plan for $97. So, and what's crazy, this is Rapid API handles the API basically like transactions and processes. But essentially this is exactly like what you're requesting or what you would be building, but this handles all the back end. So, you can see right here in the last few days, I've had 16,000 calls to that API script. Well, that's 16,000 times 2 cents. So
so each call is a scrape, essentially.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Each call's a script. Like this guy right here, look at it, like boom, he's hitting it quite often. Right. And so he's paying for that each time it calls. So just today there was 1,000 calls to that API script on this site. So yeah, I mean, so imagine if
Yeah, that's just this one site.
yeah, that's just one site, 100%. And I'm selling this API, this script, I'm selling it on two different sites. I'm selling it on Rapid API, and then I'm selling it on my own personal website called websitescraperapi.com. So
I bought a
Which-
list of like 100,000 realtors, 15, at least 15 years ago. It was like $300 or $400 between there. Like I want to say at least 3, but less than 4. But that was 100,000
100,000?
realtors in Ohio. Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. So what's cool too is you could build those lists, and Jameson, you might have it where it's like you might build those lists and then essentially like you already own the list, so you could resell it. You might have exclusives, and then you might have it where it's like non-exclusives, where it's like, hey, this list's been bought a couple of times.
Yeah, so you just resell the same lead list.
Yeah, because it sounds like Ed might even bought like there's 100,000 realtors for $300. You know, like that's I don't know the math on that. It might be like less than 3 cents each, but I mean, whoever sold that list probably sold it maybe a couple times. You know what I mean? So you're making money off of it multiple times. So yeah, so this just ended for me. Then it goes in essentially into the output, and then you can see I have all of the realtors in a nice CS. I mean, all of these.
Plumbers.
What's that?
Plumbers.
Yeah, all these plumbers inside that database. And so this is what it outputs. We have like the name. Let's see. This is functional medicine doctors. Let's see. Plumbers. Bam. So yeah, we have all our plumbers, our name, the address of that plumber, the URL of the plumber, and then the phone number also. And then any reviews, and then longitude, latitude of that. So if you ever want to map it on a Google Maps, you could do that too. So now what we could do is just like this, that URL, we could take all these URLs and start scraping those ones too. So yeah. So this, I mean, in a few seconds, you guys can see this is 104 that we have just from this one zip code. And I mean, if you look at them, they're pretty legit. You know, it's like Rescue Rotor, plumbing, like all of these leads are exactly who we're looking for. You know, it's not like getting random leads inside this. You know, it's actually like these are legit ones. And then next, what we could do is like we have that other script, so we could get their social medias, any emails on their page, anything like that. So this is the code. I feel like this is a good starting point for like, I mean, scraping leads off Google Maps. Like this could be with a whole business within itself. So
The next scrape, the social medias and emails, because of course the emails is a big one that's missing there. Those would each be manual independent scrapes based on those URLs. I forget. I know we've mentioned that at one point, but have you yet found a way we could just copy and paste that CSV and then have it do each of those back to back?
yeah, absolutely. So inside the code area, if you guys didn't drop your email in the comments for us too, for me. But inside here, inside the actual like course, I added a bulk scraping dashboard. Okay, so now you guys actually have a user interface inside here. So if you go into the user interface, inside here, you'll have this code, which this is the code to actually make it. This code is the same as this code right here.
Right.
So now you guys can upload a CSV full of all this data, and basically you guys can do that exact thing. So you guys can literally scrape independently. So I'll go to scripts, Google Maps, scrape output, plumbers. Let's see if it grabs all these ones.
I love how these websites that are like selling email lists don't give you any pricing. They're like, fill out the form and then we'll call and talk to you about pricing.
Yeah. And that might be a good way, because then you're getting the lead information. So
Well, that's just it. If we just sell them for a flat price too, you know what I mean? Nobody else is willing to disclose that. And we're just like, look, it's X amount for this. This is clean. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So price.
Clear, concise, and straight to the point. This is what you pay for. This is what you get.
yeah. Yeah, so it looks like this bulk uploader. You could upload the CSV. You would just need it to do just the URLs inside this. So like just the URLs, not the entire data. So what I'll do is whenever we scrape this, like I said, I'll update this code so that we can scrape the data, and then it also sends it to that other API that we created. And so I think that'll be way helpful. Then you just have to use one single code to basically scrape the entire Google Maps, and then it's done. And then it's all nicely in one little CSV format. So yeah.
So have you figured out a way to get a ton of emails for your doctors and nurses business?
Yeah, how's your directory going?
Yeah, you guys want to see the update? So,
Yeah.
So here's like the home. So I connected the domain, I connected the sign up, and then pretty much I want them to join and then have something to do, right? Where they're going to stick around for a while. So this is their dashboard. So this is what the inside of the dashboard looks like. You guys, like, all you guys will have to do if you guys ever duplicate this is essentially delete or switch out your logo and then basically connect your databases. So like it's going to be a really easy duplication process if we ever switch over. So all I've worked on so far is basically this header where it has this is kind of the branding. And then I have the blog area. This blog area is going to be where they could actually come in here and create blogs. They could type in like new blog. Then they're going to be able to publish it. They're also going to be able to view this. And so if you see up here, you see how instantly it like types in blogs and then it has our domain already new blog. So we're going to have all of it where they could write blogs and then instantly post to the blog. So this is like what the blog post looks like. It'll have all the author information, everything right here.
Can other people that are using the site see those blogs then?
Yep, they can. So we have this little.
Where is it under? Like under their profile or?
Yeah, that's going to be correct. So one, it automatically goes under all blogs, and then it will be like under the main category. If they're featured, they'll be at the featured blogs. So that will be another reason for them to like buy
premium. Yeah.
Premium if they so want. But it will also be under their profile. So if you could see down here, it says visit about the author. The author will have it like, here's their profile, and then it'll have all their blogs underneath their profile too.
You know what would be cool? You got all these people writing blogs, right? To incentivize them to read everybody else's blogs, you can have some sort of like ranking system. Like if they like comment or like it or something, then they get more points. And then their listings are like moved up higher than other people's listings.
That's pretty smart. Yeah, absolutely.
Because that'll like get you more traffic.
You have to make it to where there's like a wait time. You know what I mean? They have to be so that you know that they actually read some of it. You know what I mean? They set a wait time to where they have to be on the page for like 4 or 5 minutes before it gives them their credit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
cool.
How many providers do you have listed?
I just feel like
on
people would
this
spam that.
Right. So right now there's no provider since I haven't like launched it to anybody. However, I've scraped over 2,000.
How many are you? What are you
Why don't
building
you
it
just
on?
add
Are you
them?
building it on the Aspire Builder?
So this is built on two different areas. So it's one, Aspire Builder is handling our sales process because we want to be able to still run this as a business to be able to like run our sales funnels, our marketing, everything like that. So this home process, you see where how it just has my straight domain. This is on Aspire Builder. Same with the login and sign up process. So whenever you sign up, this is all on Aspire Builder. The reason why, if we go to this next page, well, we're also able to charge them. Let's see. So we're also able to charge them right here. And then this whole entire thing handles our payments. So this handles the monthly reoccurring, this handles the payments. Like this is a really easy process to sign up. They could have a free listing or they could have the monthly promoted, yearly, or the
So they don't have to pay, right?
They don't have to pay at all. No. Nope. Because we want to use this ultimately
In
in
sales funnel. Yeah.
ultimately
Lead magnet.
correct, right? So we want them to get signed up and then start managing their account. And then we're going to offer them other products, right? One, we're going to offer them my AI team. We're going to offer them Aspire Builder, our website templates, our logos, our branding, all of that stuff. So for us, just them getting listed is phenomenal. Like that's like a free lead for us.
Yeah. And then what are you using for the back end for the database?
For the database, all of this is built in Bubble. So this right here is built in Bubble here. Yep. So
if you've scraped providers, why are you waiting to put them in?
one is I want to make it where it's looks good. So that's kind of the biggest thing is I want to make sure, like right now you could see like the dashboard page.
You don't want it to look like that one I posted earlier?
Yes. So for me, I want it to look good. I guess after that, uploading those 2,000, I mean, there's nothing that stops me from that because then I could see it all populating. I could see what the full directory will look like. So just getting to that part, that's why I haven't done it. Just because.
But see, the thing is even if you put them in right now, they're not going to know they're in there. It's not like they're going to get a notification and you're going to be able to make it look good while they're in there, and it's going to start getting you some Google juice. So I'm not sure about, I don't see any reason to hesitate. Nobody's going to know about it. It's you put them in, you get some Google juice, you make it look pretty.
I don't even think he has it posted on you don't really have it hosted really yet, right? It's just kind of like a fake domain, like a
So I think
placeholder right now.
Just a placeholder. Yeah. The only one that I have the main domain, healthcaresprovider.com.
Yeah.
I don't have the Bubble set up for that. So there are two domains. This one is going to be called holistichealthproviders.com because I'm putting it on a subdomain because I do want my sales process to be different than
I'll do that. Find Hill Country businesses.
Nailed it, right? There you go.
On top of you.
100%. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. And then once this is all together, here's the cool thing is this Aspire Builder talks really easy to Bubble. So that basically sends over the payment information and any profile that they created over into Bubble. So it's like a really easy process to get into this and be able to authenticate and all, like create users and manage your users and all this. So you kind of see how, like, let's just say I'm a user. Well, the way now I'm going to be a user, but I'm also going to have blogs underneath my account. So that's kind of the reason why we need a database, a relationship. I don't know how to say it. Relationshipal, whatever the heck that is, but there's a relationship to the user and the blogs, right? So now I could say for every blog that this user created, it needs to show just that user's blogs.
I mean, it's kind of cool because then could you somehow make it so they could point their website, like let's say they have a website, but then they could just point that blog portion to your website.
I could, yeah, absolutely. We could make it where they could set up a custom.
Then it's like they have their own blog already set up without having to really set one up themselves.
You're absolutely right. And here
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jameson.
Oh no, go ahead. What you're saying? I don't want to.
Yeah, this is why I'm building everything on Bubble. Is at least the part that I want to be dynamic, right? So if I ever wanted to be where they could point a custom domain to that, well, Bubble gives me that full capability. Same thing if I ever want it in the future, I know that they're gonna, like if you're doing a local directory, a job board in this would be phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Like where they have job boards. I just want to get it where they could have their listing profile, then their blog, then I'm going to start populating, and then job board is going to be next because I know that's going to be something that they're going to request. So, yeah. What's up, Jameson?
Out of curiosity, can we, like with the Google scraper, can you just put in like Colorado, you know what I mean? Plumbers in Colorado, and it'll scrape every plumber in Colorado. Or if you do, I'm just curious, like how broad that is. Do we have the ability to scrape every plumber in the United States? You know what I mean? Well, we crash our computers if we try to do that.
Yeah. So this does have a built-in like wait system. You see how it says page wait timeout 50 seconds or 5,000. So it does have a built-in wait time. So it doesn't ever get you basically like Google doesn't notice us. You know what I mean? Like, so this stops it. It's not going to crash your computer or anything like that with that when it's running. And you're not going to need any proxies or anything like that just with this script. Now, the thing is, it does only return per like call 120 max like results. at least with this, is what I noticed. So whenever it does that, so that's why I use the zip codes. So if you wanted to say scrape all of Colorado, I would get all of Colorado zip codes, right? So I would just go into AI and basically say, can you give me a list of all the zip codes in Colorado? Okay. And then it will just spit out a zip code, right, of all of those. And then I would do one at a time. So that would be a little bit more accurate. Otherwise, you're only going to get like a max of 120. But if you do by zip code, there's a couple different processes. What I usually do is I have like a multi-step process. So I'll get a whole bunch of zip codes and I'll like do all of like Las Vegas zip codes. And then it will get of all of everything in Las Vegas. So now we have a literally zip code of every Colorado zip code, right? So here's all of our zip codes. So now I would put plumber on those, and then I would scrape all of those. But sometimes you're going to get it where it gets multiple plumbers in that zip code. So I would then send it and like combined all the CSVs, and then I would say get rid of all the duplicates. And those would just be different codes and scripts that I create inside my AI team, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you just create another software to combine CSVs to get rid of duplicates. Or you could just use, like if you have high level, you can just add them into high level, get rid of the duplicates, and then export it back into another CSV. And if you already have access to a different software, yeah, right on.
Yep. And if you see right here, I have CSV Splitter Pro. Like this is when I had to split a CSV, right? So you just doing it in reverse, right? So a lot of times you need to take 2,000 leads and you only need 500 from that lead list. So this will split those CSVs. Right?
So out of curiosity, if I provide it with a picture, so how we can add pictures to and provide the pictures to the AI, can we use this like other software where you can provide a picture of a dashboard and it'll copy the CSS and HTML and JavaScript?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So let's just say let's just say with this, right? Like I'll just screenshot this bad boy. And I mean, even with this, our CSV splitter, right? Like I could upload this right into here and I could say, can you update my software to look like this dashboard? And then, yeah, I mean, it will do that, So yeah, you could do that.
So you code with pictures, essentially. I mean, you can
100%.
Interesting. So if you like the layout of something, you can basically provide it with a picture and say, I like these aspects of this dashboard and I'd like to implement these. Cool.
That is correct. Yep. So yeah, 100%. And look, now we have this little blog. Straight up made our whole blog post. That's cool.
Wild.
Yeah. So absolutely. So, and if you don't like that, you can always go back. So, yep. So, yeah. So that will be the next thing. Basically, I'm going to get this code in here so you guys can actually use it and there's no errors on it and everything. So then you guys have it. After I get it to where you guys can use it, when you guys do install this locally on your computer, basically there's something called a requirement text file in this with this. So if I go into the Google Maps, it has the requirement text. These are like the dependencies that you install. Okay. So this is like what you install to get it to actually function on your computer. Hopefully, if you guys get stuck on how to install these things right here, literally you would go into AI and you would just ask, how do I install these on my computer to run this code? Okay. And then you would just paste, and then it would give you the step-by-step instructions. So it's crazy this is how I'm just talking to the AI right now. This is how I've been learning code. Like I haven't been using Google, like very rarely do I use Google or YouTube videos now. I literally just ask the AI, how do I do this? And then it walks me through like, here's this. Step 1. Now go to open up a terminal on your computer. If you don't know how to do step 2, right? It says open up a command prompt or terminal on your computer. Well, how do I do step 2? right? And it will walk you through step 2, just that one,
That's so rad.
right? Like, so a lot of times it's like if you get stuck, like this is all right, how do I do this? You know, and like now it's going to tell me exactly how to do just step 2, right? Here's how to open up a command prompt on your terminal. And for Macintosh, right? Open up a launch, find terminal, open up the terminal, right? And this is what the terminal is. This is what it looks like. That's on terminal on Mac. So all I do is go to this and then I follow the next instructions. Okay, I found my terminal. What do I do next? All right, and then it shows me through this whole process, right? So this just gives me, now I go to step 2. It's a good practice to create a virtual environment. All right, well, I go to here and I paste it in. And then now it does some crazy stuff, right? Like this now created me a virtual environment, right? So this is the whole little process of walking through and setting up these codes. So if you ever get stuck, how do I do it? Ask the AI. So that's what I do. Yep. All right, cool. So I will get this code up for you guys, and then you guys can start doing that. I think it'd be really good for your local business directory, Juliet. So you could literally get all of your, all of the restaurants, every type of main business in there and add it. I think that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, should you do like categories or what do you think?
I mean, for a local one, I would probably get like the top, like what are the top 10 local categories for for a local directory, and then just kind of start there, and then like maybe it's restaurants, maybe it's realtors, and then start scraping those ones specifically.
That's what I was saying. There's like the Chamber of Commerce ones, locally member directories. And I guess they have categories. I'm looking at their sites now. So they got advertising, media, agricultural, fishing, forestry, arts, culture, entertainment, business and professional services, construction equipment. So, there's a bunch of categories.
Yeah. I mean, so you might literally just start with those categories.
I know. I'm going to scrape the Chamber of Commerce one.
Yeah, just Chamber of Commerce too.
For that. Sure, all the local Chamber of Commerces in the Hill Country.
There you go. That's some good data too. So if you get Vegas, let me know. Yeah. So yeah. All right, cool. Any questions about using this Google Map scraper once I get it on there for you guys? Did everyone get their?
I'll just scrape Google Maps.
I didn't get access yet. I tried to refresh it a little bit ago. Let me try again.
All right, drop
To
your
the code vault.
Drop your email in the chat for us.
I did, I believe.
Oh, you did. Okay, there we go. Bam. Okay, I see it.
I just did a little bit after everybody else because I thought I was like, I just used the wrong email, but then I went into it and I realized that I didn't have access to those.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been selling it for $500, guys. $500.
That's cool.
Yeah. There you are, Jameson. Should have access now. And get true. You can get access to.
It's in the AI Music Creators group, right?
Yes, it is.
Versus. I still only see.
I didn't check. I'll check later. I got too many things up.
Word. Okay. You should be able to click up here. And
We're good. That's how you do it.
It says courses. And then you should just be able to click on your courses there. And then it said Code Vault. Hopefully it works. If not, let me know.
Trying to. Yeah, it's still not popping up for me for whatever reason. Maybe if I log out and log back in.
All right.
Log out.
If not, I will I'll make sure to add it. Still no?
Courses. No, still no. Just that all I see is the coaching call replays and then how to sell websites.
So strange. All right. All right. All right. I might have to do it on my phone, but I will get you guys added. So,
Let me make sure my email that I dropped in the chat is right too. I'm pretty certain it is. It didn't turn into a link for whatever reason. So I tried to do it again and it still didn't. But...
all right, cool. All right, so I'll get this added, and then I will get this script updated, and I'll let you guys know when the script is done and added to and updated, and I'll give you guys a little sample of it. And then, yeah, you guys will be scraping Google Maps. And if anyone offers this as a service, okay, please post it on your social media, and I will share it. All right, because I'm not offering it myself as a service. But if you guys,
there's a big market just setting up directories, and there's. I was just talking to my spouse about setting up a local directory for Pueblo and just doing like Pueblo home services and listing every contract.
Yeah,
we have
could
Angie's
sell our own
List.
services as an ad
Yeah.
also
Well,
on
think
that
about,
same
like,
site.
Angie's List and what are the other one? There's like there's a few different softwares where it's just that's all it is a directory of contractors, and they take a cut of the work of the business, and they charge for leads and so if we
They
did
have
local
those,
ones,
like lawn, like I just did one to get a new gardener here for my new house, and I just went online and found one, and
that's exactly what I'm getting at. So we
Yeah.
could set up, like, all of us, wherever we live, we can set up local directories and be like, look, rather than using Angie's List or some big corporate directory, use our local directory.
yeah, they like that,
It's
especially in the small towns.
It's more tailored to Pueblo, to Denver, to Colorado
Yeah.
Springs, to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? It's a local Las Vegas directory. It's not some big corporation that's trying to nickel and dime you. It's a flat rate, and it's a local directory for anything and any and every plumber, any and every real estate agent, and it's really simple to set up, and you just charge a monthly for it.
yeah, I agree. That sounds awesome, man. Heck yeah. Well, I'm glad I feel like we're in the right
Appreciate you,
direction. So yeah, so I'll help get that code for you guys so you guys can scrape away. And if anyone does sell data, like I said, make a post on Facebook. I'll help share it, and hopefully you guys get the first customers with you. So cool. Love you guys. Talk soon. Thanks.
See you.
Later.
Bye.
Appreciate you, man.
Later.